Hello, America. I'm Erick Erickson. This is the afternoon briefing for May 28th. Here are the top conservative stories that you need to know right now for anyone who's concerned about the country's future, our role in the world, and our place in history. Today, Axios reports the President Trump's budget proposal to Congress includes dramatic cuts to NPR, PBS, and USAID. This isn't just symbolic, it's a conservative statement of the role of government, the culture war, and accountability for taxpayers. Now let's break this down. Public broadcasting has long been a sacred cow for the left, but conservatives have been asking for decades, why in a world of thousands of media options are taxpayers forced to subsidize a handful of government-chosen outlets that overwhelmingly lean left? The argument that NPR and PBS provide neutral educational programming simply doesn't hold up anymore. Whether it's NPR refusing to cover the Hunter Biden laptop story in 2020 or PBS highlighting progressive activists while marginalizing conservative voices, the bias is not just clear, it's institutional. Trump's budget would reduce funding to public broadcasting by over 75%, effectively forcing these organizations to live in the real marketplace like the rest of us. Good. Let the free market decide whether their product is worth paying for. As for USAID, the move is equally strategic. USAID has become a bloated international slush fund. Originally designed to support development in fragile states, it's morphed into a progressive pet project machine, funding climate change workshops in South Asia and gender equity programs in tribal Pakistan, while American roads crumble and our borders overrun. Trump's message here is clear. If it doesn't serve the American taxpayer first, it shouldn't be in the budget, period. The budget proposal won't pass intact, but it sets the agenda. It sends a powerful message. We're done funding our own cultural opposition. By the way, it's also a nod to the work of Elon Musk and DOGE, in that they're going to use the rescission process to gut funding and bypass a Democratic filibuster for much of these appropriations. In a press conference today, President Trump downplayed the likelihood of new sanctions on Russia following reports of increased cyber attacks and aggression near Ukraine. Now, overnight, the president's team had suggested new sanctions were coming. The president had said as much yesterday as well. There are conflicting voices in the White House. Some want to walk away from Ukraine altogether. Others want to find a way to engage with Ukraine on its behalf while minimizing the financial burden on the United States. The reality is simple. Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, Barack Obama, and Joe Biden were all played by Vladimir Putin. Donald Trump runs the risk of getting played by Putin, too. Putin wants the United States to stand down on Ukraine. Giving Putin what he wants will just embolden that dictator. He's evil. President Trump could play this smart. Allow European powers to buy American weapons directly from us, then allow their direct conveyance to Ukraine without waiting for U.S. permission. It denies Putin a win. It keeps Ukraine from falling on Trump's watch like Afghanistan did on Biden's watch. It builds up the United States weapons manufacturing capacity. And it costs the United States nothing. If anything, we make some money. The Wall Street Journal reports today North Korea has ramped up a shadowy operation to embed remote workers, coders, engineers, and developers into Western companies using fake identities. These operatives pose as freelancers and funnel their earnings back to the North Korean regime. It's a cybersecurity nightmare. It's also a moment of clarity. This is what a rogue regime looks like in the 21st century. It doesn't just threaten with missiles. It infiltrates payroll systems. It hacks servers. It turns American startups into revenue streams for nuclear ambitions. Let's be really blunt here. You can't appease totalitarianism. You can only deter it, if not defeat it. For years, we heard that globalism would make countries like North Korea more like us, but we've become more vulnerable instead. The West opened its doors digitally, and North Korea walked in, stole the passwords, and cashed the checks. Conservatives need to lead on this. First, by pushing for tighter security for freelance hiring firms. Second, by holding companies accountable for negligent onboarding. And third, by demanding that our cyber defenses reflect the reality. Foreign actors don't need a visa anymore. They just need a laptop. Now, Donald Trump does understand this, and his administration is taking North Korea seriously. Joe Biden's team was asleep at the firewall. This is the next frontier in national security, and it's happening right now. By the way, pro tip for companies. Seriously, ask prospective employees if they think Kim Jong-un is fat. Several companies report they've been able to weed out North Koreans by setting them up to criticize the North Korean leader's weight. The recruits don't want to die, so they decline the job instead of either lying about Kim Jong-un or telling the truth. Lastly, Harrison Ruffin Tyler, grandson of the 10th U.S. President John Tyler, has passed away today at age 96. Yes, you heard that right. The grandson of a man born in 1790 lived into the third decade of the 21st century. That's not just a fun trivia fact. It's a reminder of how young our republic really is. John Tyler was president before the Civil War, before Abraham Lincoln. He served during a time when the United States was still finding its place in the world. And now his grandson, a man who lived through the Depression, World War II, the Cold War, the space race, and the internet age, has passed away. That should humble us. In a culture obsessed with immediate, we forget how close our past truly is. We're not so far removed from the founding generation. We're their grandchildren, literally. Harrison Tyler was a steward of history. He helped preserve Sherwood Forest, his family estate, and worked tirelessly to protect Virginia's architectural legacy. But perhaps his greatest legacy was simply living. He's living proof the past is not the past, that our institutions, our Congress, and our civic inheritance are real, tangible, and fragile. The passing of Harrison Tyler reminds us to cherish our inheritance, to study it, to defend it, to pass it on. Because the line between the founders' America and today is not theoretical, it's family. So here are the takeaways this afternoon. President Trump's budget targets NPR, PBS, and USAID and intends to use rescission as a way to get it through and bypass the filibuster, sending a clear message: no more taxpayer funding for the progressive elite. President Trump is downplaying sanctions, praising independence, and putting strategy over theory in Ukraine and showing conservative realism in foreign policy. North Korea is infiltrating the West digitally, and we need to respond with rooted in vigilance and strength. We need to hit the reset button. And the talking points when it comes to North Korea, they are increasingly dangerous. And finally, the death of Harrison Tyler is a reminder that history isn't dusty or distant, it's alive. Or it was, till he passed away. But history continues on, as does the country. And that's what matters. This is your afternoon briefing. I'm Erick Erickson. Be sure to like and subscribe to YouTube. Help us grow the channel, and I'll see you tomorrow.